Quandre, let's start with the camp and the mini camp and the off-season conditioning. Clint Hurtt said that you looked noticeably more mobile out here this time this year than compared to last year. Do you feel that? You're just a night and day?
Yeah, I definitely feel it. It feels great. I've actually been able to do my normal off season and, train, strength work, cutting, all the things that I need to do to play the position that I play. So for me, it's been excellent. So I just want to continue to grow on that, continue to get better, and hopefully it pays off for a big year. You can always put the work in and it doesn't work out the way you want to, but I'd rather put the work in and let it fall the way that it's supposed to.
When you come out here and you experience this now as 100% healthy again, does it just remind you of how thankful you are to be able to come out here and play this game?
Every day. I never take it for granted. Whether it's a workout or anything, I feel I never take this for granted. I see my guys like Jamal and Jordan, on the sideline, and I've been there, and I tell them I've been there. You know what I mean? So just keep pushing and tell them everybody's race is different, and my race was different last year. At this time last year, I wasn't even able to cut. It was still running straight ahead for me. So I think it's just all a blessing, and I'm thankful. I know my wife probably get tired of me saying that, but I'm thankful every day just to be able to go out to these workouts and enjoy it.
You're asked a lot about Bobby Wagner in the past. You went after him immediately on social media when he was available. You're like, let's go get this guy, kind of thing. What does he bring? We know he brings leadership, but what's an intangible that we don't see as fans?
I think it's just the calmness, the cool demeanor, the jokes, and the things that he does that just keeps everybody involved, keep everybody in line, and I think that's what's dope. But he has that quality of when he says something, it's business. You know what I mean? And when he's serious, he's serious. When he's playing. But when we get in that huddle, he makes a call. It's loud, it's clear, and it ain't none of that. Well, we didn't get the call. You definitely heard him say it, so you go do it.
Seems to be like there's an influx of talent on defense for sure, especially in the DBs. What's your impression of the new faces back there?
I mean, it's been cool. Whether that's that Spoon, whether that's Jay Love, whether that's Jay Reed. We got some undrafted guys that's really showing out too. So. I'm just excited to see everybody, and even Mike Jack and Artie and Kobe when he's out there. We know what we have, and Reed could be back out there soon. So for us, we just got to put the work in. We can't expect to be good. We got to put the work in to be great. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be one of the most talented rooms I've ever been in.
It seems like a competitive group, and to hear you say it just kind of doubles down on that. But without Jamal back there, without Tariq back there at this time of year, and you guys get back together at training camp, does it hinder at all learning each other's, the intricacies of what goes on between DBs? Does that set you guys back at all, or do you know enough that you've played together enough?
No, I think that's what these meetings and these mandatory camps are for. K. Scott explained it yesterday. If you have questions, get them out now. This is, the first time we've had everybody in the building, and that's including me. I've been at home. I've had a son, so for me, I haven't been here as much as, people probably want me to, but at the end of the day, I have a family. So when we get these opportunities, we just take advantage of them. And, it's no reason to make excuses. We got a whole training camp, a whole preseason, and, we're going to always have some wrinkles that we got to figure out. But, I mean, it's not like this is the first time all of us will be able to be playing beside each other. We've played beside each other plenty of years. So I think for us, it's just, with Reek and Mike Jack and, Spoon is new to the mix, but, Jay Love is new to the mix. But the majority of us, we've been here. So, we know how we talk to each other. We know how to communicate it just by going and put it on the tape.
You're going into your 9th season, 5'9", 200 pounds. You've managed to play most of your games throughout your career and not suffer too many injuries.
I mean, first of all, I just got to give thanks to God, first of all, because, I've been blessed to, to be able to be durable. 50 games straight, that's one of the things that, I've cherished. I've cherished being able to start 50 games straight and play the last 3 seasons, healthy, and be able to go out there and compete for my teammates because, my availability is my best ability. But for me, it's always working, the hamstrings and like the shoulders, because it's a lot of hitting. Everybody loves to see me fly down and hit, but if I'm not able to work those shoulders and I'm not able to have that pop, then it doesn't mean anything.
I was just curious as a DB, because you are, if at 5'9", 200, you do throw your body around like a missile.
Right.
And you've hit some guys. And we talked about it last year. Your favorite hit at that point was Antonio Brown when you were with the Lions. I saw a hit also in the past where you laid out Mahomes when you played Texas Tech.
Right.
Do you remember a hit in college that stands out? Was that one?
That was definitely one, but I had a few in college. I got in trouble a little bit in college, just before the ejections and stuff, but it was a couple borderline where they wanted to throw me out. I just wanted to go out and just try to hit and make the big play as much as I could, and whether that was going to hit them, and we didn't have those type of rules where they throw you out the game, so I wasn't ever scared to get thrown out the game in college.
But now's the change. You've changed your game too.
I've had to change my game. I've been thrown out the game in the NFL, which is rare, so for me, I had to change up a little bit.
All right, one last question for you. We talk about you working out and keeping fit. You do a great job of that. Gino posted something about him working out the other day, and you kind of got at him on social media.
I mean, for Gino, it's funny because he told Pete today, he's like, look, talking about me and Bobby, he's like, look at the brothers. Why did y'all have to put them back together? This ain't gonna be nothing but trouble. So all it is trouble. But I think that's just how this team is. You know what I mean? Everybody from, the DK to Locke to me, Bobby, Jamal. That's just what this team is. That's really one of our core things. Is we have fun being around each other, and it's so cool to be around each other, and we enjoy it.
Well, it's obvious, man. And families, the closer the team, I would imagine, the more success you can have.
No question, and that's one of the things that we want to work on this year. Just continue to be close. Go out and compete. Do all the things you need to do. But at the end of the day, we got to compete against each other and make each other better. But at the end of the day, we family.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks a lot for your time. We appreciate it.
Yep, no doubt. Thank you, guys.